This week on Firies,
Water on.
they can't save this bus, but what about the rest?
There was probably 2 dozen buses in the bus depot, and each one of them will go up just as quick as the first one.
An alarm, but no response.
Do you want to go and check the balcony, you guys?
You can't see it and it will kill you.
Invisible danger.
We need to ventilate down here. Can you bring a fan down over? You need to get an early warning so that you're not breathing in this carbon monoxide and this smoke.
And Firies of the future.
You're doing it! You're doing it!
Don't touch it!
I'm not sure where the hydrants are along here. I do believe there's some near the paper factory nearby. Look
It's
out.
well after midnight on an overnight shift, and Liverpool's B platoon is called to a bus fire. After attending an earlier accident, they're one fiery down. Dan injured his finger, and he's on his way to hospital for a tetanus shot.
I got my finger jammed in the stretcher.
So Dan caught his finger in the gurney when they lifted it up. The scissor action.
If they weren't at the bus fire, they would have been down at the hospital heckling me, getting needles. So when that call came through, I wasn't unhappy about it.
Well, look out for exposures. Tell me if they're starting to go. What about gas as well, boss? Certainly up the side of the road. So.
Well, the first thing you think of is, are there going to be passengers? You're thinking about saving lives. Are you going to be having to get into the bus while it's alight? Then you've got fuels, electrical systems, stuff like that to worry about.
The interior of a bus is highly flammable and extremely toxic. Gordo and Venus get their breathing apparatus ready.
Oh, go past, go past. A little bit more, so we get to the hydrants up ahead. Rightio.
The start of Glebe's day shift, and they're ready for action. There's another member of the station that's ready too.
My name is Skid. I'm a member of the A-Lane Station Glebe.
He was 5 years old. He was in a car accident and his parents were killed and he was brain damaged. The fire brigade back then, I think it was like 45 years ago or something like that, they caught him trying to light a fire, and so they brought him into the station and gave him a little fire safety lesson. And ever since then, he's been coming up.
How I see things.
He's always there, he's always helping us, he's doing our odd jobs around the station.
I find very happy here. I just do my own thing here. I know what to do here. I play my own role here. Firecom, pumper 18 has returned to A-Lane Station. Thank you, sir. I booked the pump back. I send code once, get the pump to work, test the radios. I think the station will fall to pieces without me.
We've helped Skid out with his apartment, like it was getting a bit run down, it needed new carpet, and one of the guys here helped putting in a new kitchen for him and got repainted and everything, so it's kind of goes both ways.
He's a really great character and he sort of livens up the mood. Like if you had a shitty day or whatever, like Skid comes in and talks his talk and he just cheers you up. He's part of the furniture. He's an honorary Fiery and we all love him. He's a really nice guy.
I'm going to do my 50 years here.
He's got his own badge on the table that Tomo made. He's got his own turnout gear. He's got his own locker. He's our one and only best Fiery.
Skid can't go on call-outs. He holds the fort while they're gone.
Number 114.
22, pass your message.
And today, it's a smoke alarm at an inner-city apartment.
Fire comms, pumper 18 and MCED code 3, over.
Neighbours became concerned when they couldn't raise the occupant.
114. Are you Kevin, are you? All right, no worries, Dean. Can you smell anything? 114. Fire brigade.
By the time B platoon arrives, this bus is well alight.
the grass out at the back, Brent, otherwise the M5's going to, they'll all be slowing down. So we'll control that and they can come back in.
Thankfully, there are no passengers or a driver on board. The bus is parked empty next to a depot.
Water on.
There's no way of saving the bus, it's already gone. So we've just got to protect the exposures and anything that it can come in contact with around the bus. If we get it wrong, it gets very big. There was probably 24 buses in the bus depot, and each one of them will go up just as quick as the first one.
Yeah, we're right. Throw that one back on, straighten that hose out.
Inside the bus, the combination of materials like laminated flooring, rubber and flammable glue makes a ready source of fuel. Temperatures exceed 600 degrees. D Platoon is trying to gain access to an apartment where a smoke alarm is going off.
See if we might be able to get access to the balcony from the neighbouring unit.
No one is responding to the knocks on the door, so Dino has to work out how to get inside.
SO 18 to pump 18. Yeah, Jay, can you get the door opener ready to go? Do you want to go and check the balcony, you guys? Let us know how you go.
Even though there's no visible smoke or fire, it's vital that they check out what triggered the alarm.
Yeah, we're no chance with a jumbo down here.
Mate, we'll go to the front door, eh? I'll get you to come back here and give me a hand, set up, ready to go, over.
While Glebe is trying to avoid breaking down a door, this bus is a total write-off. Toxic smoke and gases are spewing out of the interior and pose an extreme risk. So the Firies must wear breathing apparatus.
Vehicles these days consist of a lot more plastics than they used to, so it gives off a lot more carcinogenics, which is really harmful. We don't want to be breathing that. We always want to get close to a hydrant because we've only got a limited amount of water on the truck. It's my job as the driver to get water into the truck so we don't run out. We've just got to get it out as quick as we can.
Glebe's D Platoon is trying to gain access to an inner-city apartment where a smoke alarm has been chirping for the past hour.
Yeah, we're no chance with a jumbo down here.
Mate, we'll go to the front door, eh?
After failing to find an alternative, they have to resort to breaking down the door.
Stop.
It's all in a day's work for Jimmy and Dino. They should be in no time.
It's not going in anywhere. What are these things made of?
But this is one stubborn door.
With that type of door, it's very hard to force it. If it was a solid wooden door, it would have been a lot easier.
Sledge it.
Sledge it. That's going to go.
Close.
You must have a...
Smoke alarm has stopped just as we were gaining entry. As you can see, there's no fire, no smoke. We don't really know what set it off. We didn't want to do that much damage to the door. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. We confirmed there's no problem. We'll try and secure the door now just with a chain and a padlock. We'll leave a key and a note and they should be able to claim that on their fire insurance.
Alrighty, job well done. Except for the dirty floor, looks perfect.
Liverpool's B Platoon has blasted water and foam onto this burning bus for the past 45 minutes. But this drenched skeleton of twisted metal still hides some hot spots.
It's not just a matter of standing outside and punching a hose line through the window. You've got to get in there and get out all the specific little fires that are burning inside.
Firecoms Rescue Pumper 8 Blue, sit rep from Centenary Road, Moorebank. bus well alight, now being extinguished by 2 lines of 38mm hose. Position is in hand. Minor grass and bushfire on M5 also now extinguished. Investigation around the other side has revealed that the fuel tank was uncapped, and obviously with the door being open and the extent of the fire and such a rapid spread of it, to me it's clear that it is an arson job of some kind. Anyway, let's go, next job.
And just in time to catch the pump, Dan returns from hospital after his tetanus shot.
You all right, Griffiths?
I'm all right, mate. Need a cuddle, but... Actually, I've got something here that Pete made me. It's a little funnel. So, just because I got a little scratch on my finger, Pete thought he'd put my finger in it, and just so I wouldn't scratch it anymore when I sleep at night. So, it's nice to see that they show sympathy.
Glebe is responding to another alarm in the centre of the city.
Oh yeah, let's breathe in.
This time it's an apartment hotel with reports of smoke in the foyer. D Platoon is not the first pumper on scene. City Station's Tony Camilleri is in charge.
This level's filled with smoke. They don't know why, but there's smoke in the loading dock as well. It's coming out of a pipe about that diameter, and I'm waiting for the building manager. I want to get on the phone with the building manager. He's chasing the building manager up to find out where that pipe comes from.
Yeah, okay.
But it's feeling in the rooms out the back. I've just started evacuating the whole hotel.
What's the quickest way to the loading dock, mate?
Yeah, this way.
This way? That way.
Yeah, Tony, it's Matty here. We've checked the first floor. There's no smell of the fire up here. We've checked the whole floor and everyone's evacuated.
No one knows what's going on at that point in time when we first turn up to an incident. You know, no one knows where the smoke's coming from, the source of the smoke.
Run it crew to run it, SA. Stand by.
And when they find it, there's more than just a fire to deal with.
We'll kill you within 2 to 3 minutes.
Glebe has joined firefighters from City HQ to find the source of smoke in an inner-city hotel foyer.
Smoke in the loading dock as well.
Yeah, I've got clothes dryer on light. Basement level 1 over.
Smoke is pouring from a laundry room where an industrial-sized dryer has caught fire.
Mate, we just want to isolate some power down here in B1. And if we can, more specifically to, the laundry room where the dryers are.
The city crew has already attacked the flames, but it's still not safe without breathing apparatus.
It's going to dry all right. We're going to douse it with water. We've isolated the power. We're going to douse it with water.
Liverpool's next night shift has a quiet start. The bells remain silent until they are called from their mess hall to someone else's. It's a report of an electrical fire involving a fridge in a suburban kitchen. Any electrical fire means extra protection for the Firies.
23. People at the front, probably. 335. Go ahead. Is it accessible?
Yeah.
The first job for Chris is to isolate the power. Venus and Irene investigate.
So one of the more common fires in a household is electrical fires from power cords, power circuits being overloaded, etc. Sometimes motors catch on fire in washing machines, air conditioning units and the like. The important thing to know about electricity is quite simple. You can't see it and it will kill you.
At Glebe's city laundry fire, carbon monoxide can also kill.
Yeah, can you guys, we need to ventilate down here. Can you bring a fan down over?
Understood. We're about to put the positive pressure ventilator on, okay, mate?
So if you've got smoke hanging around in an area where there's nowhere for it to vent, We use a PPV, which is a petrol-powered positive pressure ventilation fan to remove that smoke. Now, the hazard with that is that it produces carbon monoxide. We have a look through here now, it's quite clear, whereas it wasn't before. This here is just an extension of the exhaust because it puts out a fair bit of carbon monoxide. So we're just directing the carbon monoxide through there where we've strategically opened doors to get the smoke and the carbon monoxide out onto the street. So we're just pushing the carbon monoxide through with the smoke, that's all.
Carbon monoxide is a lethal byproduct of any fire, and the consequences of breathing it in need to be taken very seriously.
0.02% of carbon monoxide, you'll start to feel the effects like headachy and things like that. 1.28% of carbon monoxide in an atmosphere and will kill you within 2 to 3 minutes.
People can now return to the building, mate.
Looks like we finished ventilation and that should be about it.
Liverpool is investigating a report of a fire in a fridge. Taking no chances, Chris has isolated the power. Venus and Irene carefully approach the fridge.
It's on fire inside the fridge. Well, there's smoke coming out, but we're just moving the fridge to the back door before we open it.
Copy that. Door and power.
The smoke is obvious, but not the source of it.
Yeah, really weird, isn't it? It looks like it's...
Oh, see.
No, just have a good look at the back and see if there's anything really obvious. Well, the smoke's dissipated now. Irene, I think it's the freezer section. These aren't coming out because it's melted to the back of it.
You're the owner? You okay?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
None, it's just stressful, that's all.
Okay. All right, so you smelt some smoke, or the kids smelt some smoke, or what happened?
No, I put some beers in the freezer for my husband.
Yeah.
And it was fine. The next thing he goes, I think it's on fire. It just kind of went...
Well, it's all the plastics melted right down and...
The motor's gone in.
A short circuit in the wiring has blown the motor and melted through the back of the fridge.
Thanks for getting here so quick.
That's all right.
It's really very stressful when you're pregnant with 3 kids.
There you go, just in there.
Just to be safe, the doomed fridge is given a new home out on the deck until it can be disposed of.
Thank you very much, guys. It's all right.
The danger is over for the Hardy family, but not for B Platoon.
There appears to be a very deep-seated fire located in one of the buildings, possibly being fed by a gas main.
No matter how big the job, firefighters not only have to trust each other, they have to trust their equipment.
It's imperative that it works first time every time, so we've got regular checks that we do.
And some, like the personal distress unit, are thoroughly checked at headquarters first.
That piece of equipment monitors our movement, so if we stop moving for a certain amount of time, it'll go into an alarm. Tile falls on our head in a house fire and we get knocked out and we're laying on the ground, it will alert the other fireys that we need help.
And there may come a time when it will be relied upon to keep a fiery alive. They just won't know when.
Yeah, because I heard all these loud noises and I was like, hey, I was like, what's going on there?
Fire comms rescue pumper 8.
It's almost 2 a.m. and B Platoon is called in as backup to a supermarket complex fire that's been burning out of control for almost an hour.
There's numerous evacuations going on. There'll be people from non-English speaking backgrounds.
It's actually Auburn or Regent's Park?
Regent's Park.
Tonight, relieving firefighter Scott Stanley Hanley is tasked with guiding Pumper 8 to the fireground as quickly as possible.
We have a fire totally involving 2 shops on the ground floor. As previously reported, there appears to be a very deep-seated fire located in one of the buildings, possibly being fed by a gas main.
While Liverpool heads towards a very dangerous fire situation, The Firies at Glebe have the job of spreading the word about fire safety, and they like to start the message young.
Today we're at a local daycare to perform what's called pre-ed. There's fire education programs for the local kids to help them understand a couple of basic messages about fire safety. We're the Glebe Firefighters. This man here is Sam. He's Firefighter Sam. That's his real name. I've been a primary school teacher for about 14 years. Casual primary school teacher, not every day. And it's really enjoyable working with the young kids. They've still got that spark and they still enjoy learning. It's still in the kitchen and there's a fry pan there cooking away. Turn up in a fire brigade uniform in a big red truck and they really love it. That's an alarm, tells you there's smoke. Smoke always comes down from the roof, so if there is smoke, you get down low and what else do you do? Hands up if you want to demonstrate how to get down low and go, go, go. And that's an important one as well because you need to get under that smoke level.
Under the smoke.
We use a blanket to simulate the smoke level so they get under that and exit the smoky room. Firefighters aren't always dressed like this. Sometimes they're dressed like this guy here. Probably one of the most important parts of the fire ed program is introducing them to a firefighter in their full gear. They've got the mask on, the helmet on, the big heavy jacket. For breathing,
he
very
does
good.
Sound like Darth Vader.
We just need to make them aware that that's a safe person. That's someone to yell out to as opposed to hide from. Firefighters are your friends, OK?
Who wants to go and see a fire truck? Yeah?
Hold on tight. Up there.
Go. And push it. 1, 2, 3. Big pull. Yeah. Inside the truck is way more interesting than playing with the hose at the back. I keep telling them that, but they won't listen to me.
Can you feel the water?
You're doing it. You're doing it.
Oh, don't touch it.
Yeah, push it.
Next week on Firies.
We're going to need another 2 pumpers.
Heading into danger to help others escape it.
Power's still on, so watch out. Everyone out.
Glebe's big day out.
Hands person thrown from vehicle. We may need extra manpower over.
Hat-trick of MVAs today.
These things happen, like I said, it's understandable.
And quiet comfort.
That man was devastated.